Hi everyone, I actually put the more lights on so you can see me better. Yeah. I want you guys to see me a little bit more better, so read out loud of A Dog's Purpose Part 4. Fast was overjoyed, but Sister was too cowed by the rest of the pack to accept his offer of play. She growled in front of Top Dogs and let all the canines sniff her without making a single move to establish any boundaries. When they contemptuously dismissed her, Sister fearfully inspected the empty feeding trough and drank some water as if she was stealing. This was what happened to dogs who tried to live in the world without people. They became beaten down, defeated, starved. Sister was what we all would have been if we stayed in the convent. Fast clung to her side the whole time. It occurred to me that Sister had always been his favorite, more important to him than even Mother. I watched him kiss Sister and bowed toward without jealousy. I had Coco. What did make me jealous was the attention Coco was getting from some of the other males, who seemed to think they could wander over and play with her as if I weren't there. Which I suppose they could. I knew my position in the pack, and I was happy with the sense of order and security it provided me. But I wanted Coco for myself and didn't appreciate when I was rudely shuttered out of the way. The males all seemed to want to play the game I invented, circling behind Coco and trying to jump on her. But I know with cold satisfaction that she had no interest in playing this game with them either. The morning after Sister arrived, Bobby came into the yard and took Fast, Sister, Coco, and one other young male, a frisky spotted hound the men called down, and put them all with me in a cage in the back of the truck. It was crowded and noisy, but I loved the high vehicle airstream and the expiration on Fast's face when I sneezed on him. Astonishingly, a long-haired female dog from the pack rode in the cab with Carlos and Bobby. Why did she get to be a front seat dog? I wondered. Why, when her scent followed from the open window, did a shiver pass through me, make me feel an urge wildness. We parked next to an old gardening tree that provided the only invisible shade in a hot parking lot. Bobby went inside the building with the female from the cab while Carlos came around to the cage door. All of us except Sister surged forward. Come on, Coco. Coco! Charles said. I could smell peanuts and berries on his fingers, plus something sweet I couldn't identify. Y'all barked jealously as Coco was led into the building, and when we barked because we were barking, a large black bird landed in the tree above us and stared down at us as if we were idiots, so we barked as if it were at it for a while. Bobby came back out to the truck. Dobby, he called. Probably I stepped forward, accepting a loop of leather around my neck before jumping down onto the pavement, which was so hot it hurt my feet. I couldn't even glance back at the losers in the cage as I entered the building, which was astonishingly cool and retoiled with the smells of dogs and other animals. Bobby led me down a hallway and then picked me up and dropped me on a shining table. A woman entered, and I thumped my tail as she put her soft, gentle fingers in my ears, and I prodded under my throat. My hands smelled of strong chemical. Her hands smelled of strong chemical, though her clothes smelled of other animals, including Coco. What's this one? She asked. Dobby, Bobby said. I read harder when I heard my name. How many did you say today? While she and Bobby spoke, she lifted back my gums to my teeth. 3 males, 3 bitches. Bobby, the woman said. I wagged my tail because I recognized his name. I know. She's going to get in trouble, the woman said. She was feeling me up and down, and I wondered if it would be okay if I groaned with pleasure. There were no neighbors to complain. Still, there are laws. She can't just keep taking on more dogs. There are already too many. It's not sanitary. She says otherwise. The dogs all die. There are not enough people to take them on. It is against the law. Please don't tell Doctor. You put me in a bad position, Bobby. I have to be concerned with their welfare. We bring them to you if they are sick. Someone is going to file a complaint, Bobby. Please don't. Oh, not me. I'm not going to say anything without telling you first. Give you a chance to find a solution, okay, Toby? I gave her a lick on the hand. Good boy. We're going to get you into surgery now. Fix you right up. Bobby chuckled. Soon I was in another room, brightly lit by a delicious cool full of a strong chemical smell that came off the nice lady. Bobby held me tightly, and I lay still, somehow sensing this was what he wanted. I felt good to be held like that, and I thumped my tail. I felt a brief sharp pain behind my neck, but I didn't complain, wagging viciously to show what I didn't mind. The next thing I knew, I was back in the yard. I opened my eyes and tried to stand up, but my legs weren't working. I was thirsty but too tired to get water. I put my head down and went back to sleep. When I woke, I was instantly aware that there was something around my neck, a white cone of some kind, so stupid looking I worried I might be dismissed from the pack. I had an aching itch feeling between my back legs, though I couldn't get at it with my teeth because of the silly collar. I stumbled over to the focus and drank a little. My stomach queased and my underside very, very sore. I could tell by the smells in the yard that I had missed supper, but I couldn't have cared less at that point. I found a cool patch of earth and flopped down with a groan. Fast was lying there, and he looked over at me. He, too, was wearing the ridiculous collar. What had Bobby done to us? 3 females who gone with us to the building with the nice lady were now nowhere to be seen. The next day I limped around the yard sniffing for signs of Coco, but there was no evidence that she had come back with us. Aside from the humiliation of the stupid collar, I also had to suffer the identity of an inspection of sore area by every male in the pack. Top Dog flipped me over on my back with a not-so-gentle shove, and I lay there in misery at first. Then the other male snipped me with undue contempt. They didn't try the same thing with the females, who bounded into the yard a few days later. I was overjoyed to see Coco, who also wore the strange collar and fast did his best to comfort Sister, who was plainly felt the entire process had been tremendous. Carlos eventually moved the collars, and from the point on I found myself somehow less interested in the game where I climbed on Coco's back. Instead, I had a new game, where I strung up to Coco with a rubber bone and chewed it right in front of her, tossing it up in the air, dropping it. She would pretend she didn't want it, looking away, but her eyes always came back to the bone when I nudged toward her with my nose. Finally, she would lose control and lunge, but I knew her so well I could snatch the bone away before she closed her jaws on it. I would dance back, waggling joyfully, and sometimes she would chase me, and we'd run in big circles and was my favorite part of the game. Other times she would yawn and fake boredom, so I'd come close again, translating with her the rubber bone until she simply couldn't take it anymore and made another grab for it. I loved this game so much that when I slept, I dreamed about it. Sometimes there were real bones, though, and these were handled differently. Carlos would come into the yard with a greasy bag, handing out charred treats and calling our names as he did so. Carlos didn't understand that he would always give one to Top Dog first, which was okay by me. I didn't always get a bone, but when I did, Carlos would say, "Tobby, Tobby," and hand it to me right past some other dogs' noses. There were different rules when humans were involved. Once, when Fast got a bone and I didn't, I saw something extraordinary. Fast was hunkered down across the yard, chewing frantically, exotic odors wafting up from his prize. I'd slid over to watch invincibly, so I was standing right there when Top Dog walked up. Fast, tense, spreading his legs a little as if getting ready to stand, and as Top Dog came forward, Fast stopped chewing and loosened a deep growl. No one ever growled at Top Dog. I sensed that Fast was right. This was his bone, given to him by Carlos, and not even Top Dog could take it. The bone was so delicious, Top Dog couldn't seem to help himself. He shoved his nose forward, and that's when Fast struck a sharp clink of his teeth right in Top Dog's face. Fast's lips were drawn back, and his eyes were slits. Top Dog stared at him as if dumbfounded at this open revelation. Then, with his head raised regardlessly, he turned and licked his leg on the fence, paying Fast no further attention. I knew that if Top Dog wanted to, he could have taken Fast's prize. Top Dog had the power, and he had explored it before. I'd seen what happened when, right around the time we took the truck ride to visit the nice lady in the cool building, the male dog had assembled around one of the females, sniffing at her and licked their legs with a stern, frantic pose. I was in the group. I'm sorry to say there was just something so compelling about her. I can't even describe it. Every time a male tried to smell her from behind, the female sat in the dirt. Her ears were back and humiliated, but she also growled a few times, and when she did, the males backed off as if she had just been elected top dog. We were all gathered so close together it was impossible not to bump into one another, and that's when a fight erupted between Top Dog and the largest male in the pack, a huge black and brown dog whom Bobby called Roddy, whom Bobby called Roddy. Top Dog fought with expert effigy-sized Roddy by the back of the neck and dragged the dog's shoulders down to the ground. The rest of us gave the fight a wide berth, and it was over in seconds. Really, Roddy flipped over on his back smithishly. The noise had drawn Carlos, though, who called, "Hey, that's enough." Carlos stood in the yard annoyed by the males, while Coco trooped over to him to be petted. After watching us a few minutes, Carlos called for the females who had been getting all the attention, took her outside the gate. I didn't see her again until we were all in the truck the next morning, headed out to see the nice lady in the cool room, and she was a front seat dog with the men. After Fast was finished with his bone, he seemed to have second thoughts about nipping at Top Dog. My brother hung his head, tail wagging low, and shambled over to where Top Dog was standing. Fast made several play bows, which Top Dog ignored, and then Fast licked Top Dog in the mouth. This seemed to be significant apology, so with that, Top Dog played with Fast a little, rolling my brother over and letting Fast chew a bit at his neck before he abruptly walked away. This is how Top Dog maintained order, by keeping us all in our place, but not taking advantage of his position to steal food that was given to us by the men. We had a happy pack right up until the day that Spike arrived. After that, nothing was the same.